You are listening to Feed the Beast, a weekly podcast exploring all things food with business partners, spouses, and your hosts, Chef Chris Paul and nutritionist Leigh-Ann Charles Paul of Everything We Eat. I hope you're hungry, because it's time to feed
your inner beast.
I'm Leigh-Ann Charles Paul.
I'm Chris Paul.
And we're here today with Val Cadet, Director in Operations of the Dorrance Hamilton Center, right? Yeah. How you doing?
Doing good.
Nice to have you today.
Yes, definitely. So before we get started, let's just delve into some food news here. So I got some interesting stuff. Let's see. The health food craze. Big thing, right? So while healthy eating is not a new concept, nor is it a concept at all, even though we like to say that, there's many markets that are actually changing their model to cater for those that want healthier food. So let's see, Giant Supermarket actually is now partnered with HelloFresh. So HelloFresh is getting into the retail market. Blue Apron is now partnering with Costco to bring their stuff into the retail market. Martha Stewart does meal kits. McDonald's actually launched a vegan burger in December. It's called the McVegan.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I've never heard of
Do
that.
all their burgers cooked to order fresh?
Who? McDonald's?
McDonald's?
Is that new?
I heard, yeah.
Interesting. So no more frozen patties.
No more frozen, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. And then Kentucky Fried Chicken, the king of chicken, is now making a plant-based chicken. So baked chicken.
Wow.
This should be really
Should be
interesting how this
I think
goes.
as long as they have the spices, they'll be fine.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I wonder, though, how this is actually going to change, our market for local entrepreneurs that are trying to bring stuff out there, because now these big fast food chains are monopolizing the industry, are bringing in.
I mean, I think if you were eating at KFC, whatever new product came out, they were never really in our realm. I mean, to be realistic, I don't think now it's like, oh my God, now this isn't it. So if you were eating at KFC, you're probably going to continue eating at KFC.
It's force of habit.
Yeah.
That's true. Or it's also cheaper, guys.
It's more convenient and it's fast. It's
Yeah.
fast food,
Exactly. So, anyway, well, speaking of entrepreneurs, let's delve into the Dorrance H. Hamilton Center, which we are also a part of.
Yes.
We're really excited to talk to you. So, tell us a little bit about the history of the Dorrance H. Hamilton Center. Or can I just say CC Center?
Yeah, let's just say CC.
Okay, let's just say that.
Confuse everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, actually, for those of our listeners who don't know, what is the CC, Val?
So the CCE, it's the Center for Culinary Enterprise. It's what we call a food incubator in West Philadelphia. So what we do is we house a lot of food entrepreneurs around Philadelphia. Right now we have on my roster about 85 entrepreneurs that work out of space.
Oh, that's a lot of people.
Active about 52 out of that 85. So it's a pretty cool space to work. It's a cool space to grow your business and start up from ground up. Mm-hmm. And what we do is we try to give the entrepreneur a place where they can house and call a place for themselves, and more or less a place for them to continue to grow, scale, either move on to brick and mortar locations or continue to produce their products to move on to a co-packing place if they're at that scale. Pretty much.
I guess so.
Nice.
How does it work? I guess if a budding entrepreneur wanted to say, how do I jump into this? From maybe prepping at home to how do I move into a commercial facility like the CCE?
Yeah, good question. So the first thing you need to do, of course, is get certain certifications. Number one thing is very important to work out of our space. You have to have liability insurance. Mm-hmm. So the liability insurance has to more or less reflect general liability and product liability. Once you have that, that's number one key. And another thing is more or less we're dealing with food, so we have to make sure that the entrepreneurs that's coming on board, they are applying with all the food regulations and know how to handle food, which is important. Especially if you're going to be selling to the general public, we need to know you have some type of capacity about food handling, which is important. Chris, you would know that's crucial in this industry. You don't want nobody getting sick with improper food handling. So we asked them to have what's called a ServSafe food protection certification. The one we work with, there's actually two. I think right now they're actually just doing food protection manager, right?
Yeah, essentially the city requires that you have the manager. There's a food handler certificate, which is decent for your employees just to have, but as a manager or owner-operator, you need the manager's edition. Yeah.
Oh, so you can't have the food handlers without somebody having a manager on top of you?
Essentially.
Oh, okay. That's a good tidbit.
Yeah, so you have to have that, and also The food safety certificate, which you get from the health department,
Yes.
which is important, goes hand in hand, especially if you're going to be selling to the general public. You have to have that certificate. So that's the things we ask them to have: ServSafe, food safety certificate, and insurance. And once you have that, we kind of onboard them. Yeah, we do have a membership fee, which is $100. It covers all members for a year. Once you do that onboarding, we show them our processes of how to book time online. We are mindful that we have a lot of home chefs that come from not knowing how to use commercial equipment, so we make sure they are familiarized with our equipment. We walk them through equipment training, and from there, they're all good to go.
That's great. Yeah.
Now, you guys do have a wide range of equipment. I know you got some new things recently. I think you have a CVAC.
Yep,
What
CVAC.
else? You have a few really cool equipment that really makes the process easy, I think, for any entrepreneur, especially in the baking kitchen. You have that giant oven. It's like
So we
the
have
rotating oven.
the backstage, the rolling rack oven.
Yeah.
So an entrepreneur, for example, if you're going at home, you're baking out of your home, you're doing about, I would say, 20, 30 cookies. You can go from doing that from home to our space in our oven, use our ovens. You can do about 200 cookies in less than an hour. So your capacity for your production goes skyrocketing if you use our space, rather than you being at home cooking like 30, 40 cookies, which could take about 4 or 5 hours with, your regular traditional home oven. So it's a great place to kind of like scale up your production.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And before we go more into this, what's the history of the CCE? How did it get started?
So the CCE, it used to be an old supermarket. I think back in 2011.
That's so recent.
Yeah, very recent. Yeah. Very recent. The Enterprise Center, they took over the space. It was actually abandoned. We actually won the bid for the place, and we took it, revitalized it, and turned it what it is today. The Center for Culinary Enterprise. The cool thing about the space, it just doesn't have the incubator section. We also have storefronts. So we have 48th Street Grill. We have Auntie Yola's Spirit Foods First. And we do have another third space we're working on. I can't talk about the details right now, but it's coming along. So it's definitely a great story to tell. The facility is about 13,000 square footage. We have 4 prep kitchens, 2 bakery kitchens, and 2 catering kitchens. And we do have what's called packing stations. So packing stations are generally for members that if we just talking about cookies. So say if I have a cookie product, and I want to, after I chill my product, I want to package it, put labels on it. So that's the station you would go in. For example, if you're a caterer and you do meal preps, after your product is chilled, you put them in little containers. You want to go to package station, kind of label, and kind of scoop in your food product into those containers in the packing stations, which is very cost effective for our members.
Yeah, now there's different, you guys offer an array of services, right? I know, like, you have access to walk-in space, freezer space, dry storage, and there's different scales, as you said, within baking and the kitchen. And can you give us an idea of like how much does it cost? I guess based on
like hourly rates.
Yes, so our rates I say it's very, very cost effective. So the kitchens for right now it goes $30 an hour, but members have to book for a minimum of 2 hours. So we have what's called a la carte services, your hourly services, more or less pay as you go. If you're a budding entrepreneur, you're still trying to test the waters, and you have events that come in very sporadically. You can book the kitchen when you have events coming in, and it's very cost effective. The only disadvantage is with the hourly service, we don't provide storage to hourly members. So it's more beneficial if you become a monthly member. You do have access to storage.
Now, when you say storage to our listeners, what exactly are you talking about?
So our facility, we have refrigeration. So we have refrigeration for baked goods, catering products, and we also have freezer storage, and also we have dry storage. So all those units, they have different price points. So for example, our refrigeration, it goes for $48 if you want refrigeration. Freezer is about $60, and dry storage, very cost effective, $36 a month.
Nice.
So it's much better if you're a food entrepreneur, if you working in our space, it's more convenient to have storage. Because I worked in catering gigs myself, and there's always something you forget running back and forth with a lot of product in your car. So it's more convenient for caterers. We make them easy for you to have a space to store your product in our storage units, and and you can lock the storage units in. Peace of mind, you don't have to worry about anybody, taking your stuff or your stuff disappearing. So.
No, it's great because we had that problem when we first started. We were loading up in my car, getting everything the night before, and it was really annoying because we kept going back and forth. So the fact that you have these cages that you can roll around and put in that are freeze resistant, and you can also put them in the fridge, and then you can also put them in the dry storage. So it's great. You go into this room, there's like a line of cages, and you can lock it, and they vary in size, right?
Yeah, they vary in size.
Smaller or larger ones. So I love the concept. I think it's great. And you can roll it around.
It's the fun part, rolling around. Just make sure you don't hit the walls.
Hit the walls. They're all over you.
I guess, if someone was looking for more information, I know you host a foodie forum, correct? And can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so twice a month we host what's called a foodie forum. It's more or less just an information session. It's more part of the onboarding for new members. We kind of walk them through all the information they need. For example, all the certifications they'll need to work out of our space. We walk them through connecting them to the Enterprise Center, because more or less it's not just giving the members a space to work. We're not just selling a kitchen space. We're more or less in the business of growing entrepreneurs. So we want to make sure we're making that connection between our facility, the Center for Culinary Enterprise, and the Enterprise Center, because we kind of found that it was a disconnect. People kind of felt the entities were different.
Yeah,
but more or less,
it is the same entity.
We work hand in hand, same entities. So,
and that's usually Mondays, I guess, around, you said 4 o'clock, right?
If they want to register, they can go to our website at theenterprisecenter.com and register on our calendar. There should be a link to RSVP for the event.
Oh, cool. And so for those who, I don't know, so we also do live interactive dinner shows, and sometimes there's a lot of other venues out there, but parking is always a problem, and the CC is great because you guys have parking there, and you also have an interactive kitchen, right, where there is equipment to record and stuff. Is that correct?
That is correct. So we have what's called the e-kitchen. It's more of a demo kitchen where we do all type of private events. We host catering events. I think last 2 weeks ago we hosted an event for a chef. He did a paint night with desserts.
Oh,
while the clients were painting, he was serving all type of great desserts. It's a cool space to work. We have the availability to stream to right now YouTube and Facebook. Cool. What is it? Facebook Live.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool space, and the setting is just as what you would see in your I would say Food Network type of setting. It's
a really cool. Nice upscale space.
The great thing is we just upgraded our countertops, so the place is really immaculate.
Oh, nice. It's white marble? Or...
White marble with a little touch of diamonds. It's
it's
swanky.
Pretty big capacity, right? I would say you could fit around 30, 40 people.
Yeah,
maybe more than that.
Our capacity is 50, but right now our seating capacity is 27. But anybody that rents the space, they can bring additional chairs as long as they communicate that with us. It should be fun.
Oh, that's great.
The great thing is the space is very cost effective to rent. Right now it's $150, but if you are...
Is that per hour?
Per hour. But if you become a member, that price tag drops down to $125. So it's more beneficial to members to join and become part of the organization because you do get that discount for the space.
And you mentioned, besides the CCE, the actual Enterprise Center, which is essentially one entity, what other, services would you suggest that, I know you guys do work with some financing and small business associations, besides just like you said, it's not just about renting kitchen. It's about, how do we help you grow? So I guess what else would you guys provide?
So we have a program. We have a lot of programs, business programs here, and a lot of business coaching programs. More or less, what we're trying to do is try to capture those entry-level companies that's just starting up. We kind of have those programs to get them off the ground to continue to kind of coach them into growing to the next stage of their business. We have a program it's called Elevate. I believe Anthony runs that program. It's a great program to help entrepreneurs kind of figure out how to manage your P&L, what's your demographics, who are you serving, how do you actually fine-tune your product and make sure it's reaching to the right clientele. So those are all the programs we kind of offer to our entry-level businesses that's just starting up.
And for those of our listeners who don't know, Anthony also works as part of the CCE.
Yes, Anthony is part of the CCE, TC, and also oversees, I think, this program, correct?
Yes, he does a lot of the marketing components as well. So it's great because he's got that statistical component coming in. Yeah. So you could be like, who's my audience? Oh, these people. And he'll be like, is it or is it me?
Yeah, Anthony is good at what he does over here.
Exactly.
And you guys also do some funding as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys have some small business loans. I think we utilized one of the credit lines in the past. Just, as far as anything goes, you need money to make money, essentially.
Absolutely.
And this is, you guys are considered a nonprofit on the book. So, this isn't like vulture capitalism or it's like venture capitalism. It's very geared towards the community and trying to really get a good positive outcome. Yeah,
because we're all about, scaling and creating jobs around Philadelphia. So that's really our main goal, to help minority-owned business around Philadelphia. So we're not, once again, trying to break the bank and trying to nickel or dime you. The point is just growing your business and helping you scale to the next level. So the support we have here is really a great place to grow your business. And the Enterprise Center, we have all these multiple programs, once again, that help. And the loan process we have with the loan, we give micro loans to members that are pretty much starting up and they just need a little boost for capital. So it's a great program we have here.
And even if you are successful and your business has scaled up, you can still stay at the Enterprise Center.
Absolutely.
I mean, you have different memberships, right?
We definitely have different membership tiers. For us at the CCE, we have what's called the startup tiers. The startup tier is about $300 a month and it gets you 10 hours to use per month. So that's really for those members that are really kind of at that really grown stage when they are starting to kind of define their demographics and actually growing their client base. So that's that tier that is really cost effective, and it actually gives you access to those 10 hours of kitchen time, and also gives you, most importantly, access to rent storage space in our space. So it's very cost effective space, and it's actually our most popular tier right now, which is the 300 membership tier.
Yeah, and that scales up, right? And there is discounts for the hours. I know as you scale up into the hours, you really, it becomes more of a bargain. Because you imagine, I guess, renting out a space for $300 is not even feasible, especially with that sort of equipment, unless it's just like a garage or something. Now, I guess there's been so many people in and out of the Enterprise Center. What are some success stories that...
Great success stories since I've been here. For example, we have a client, Oinky Moon Barbecue. I don't know if you guys know of them.
Oink?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've heard they have a truck, right? It's like purple, really. Yeah.
So that was a great success story for us. They actually went through our incubation process. They actually, I think last year they were ranked #1 food truck in the country.
Oh wow!
And they opened up a second storefront in Voorhees, New Jersey. So that's a great story for us to tell about someone that went through a process and been through the onboarding, and then they have 2 storefronts. So it's a great story to tell for us.
Congrats, Oink. That's great.
Yeah, they have great product. If you haven't tried it, they still actually do a lot of vending opportunities around Philadelphia. I think when we went to the night market, they were there. So they're still around for the most part. Yeah,
it's great. And I mean, as far as like some stats, I'm sure you guys keep track of, how much community development you do. How much, how many jobs has something like this created, if you have a ballpark number, or even like as far in terms of revenue, how much have you guys produced in the past few years?
Creating jobs around Philadelphia. I know the number is over 200 jobs we created through the incubation program.
Oh, cool. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Yeah. Well, Val, thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything else you'd like to tell our audience?
All right. So our next foodie forum is July 25th, Wednesday at 4 p.m. They can register online through theenterprisecenter.com. There should be a calendar icon, and they can RSVP there.
Okay.
And they could, it's right on site, right? Right off of 48th and Spruce.
48th and Spruce.
310 South 48th Street is the exact address.
Yeah, rare parking lot.
Rare parking lot. Very important, because we get a lot of people that they can't find a location. They actually go to the storefronts, but it's in the rear of the building.
Yeah. And social media? You guys are on that?
Social media, we definitely on it. So if you want to follow us, it's at West Philly Foods with us. We post a lot of cool content, so please follow us.
And that's on Instagram, right? Yeah, you guys have some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. And we do follow back.
Very exciting. So thank you again for joining us.
No problem.
We're excited to see what the CCE has to offer in the future, and hopefully we'll be a part of it.
I definitely hope so.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess, who are we going to highlight this week?
This week we have right around the corner from us is Dock Street. They're expanding into South Philly. They've actually found an even bigger warehouse. Similar concept, they essentially took an old warehouse. This one is, I think, around 13,000 square feet, and they're actually going to bring almost all of their canning to that site because it's a little bit bigger.
It's on Washington Ave, right?
Yep, Washington Ave. They're still going to have their West Philly flagship store open. Only difference is they'll just be doing a lot more in South Philly. I think they're able to do about 9,000 barrels instead of 2,000 monthly. So, it's a way bigger scale. They've really blown up with a lot of the beers they've had, gotten some national recognition, as well as doing the IPA with the West Philly native Chill Moody. Really cool brand, and I think it's really good beer. Especially if you haven't had it. The Dock Street Rye is
so good.
Really good. The food is great. It's a great organization. I'm glad to see them expand.
It's exciting. Have you had Dock Street?
I had Dock Street, but there's another brewery I usually go to. It's the one in Fishtown, Philadelphia, a beer company.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my go-to because I'm big on cider. I'm trying to stay away from.
Yeah, they have a lot of ciders.
There's so much great cider options, so that's where I usually go. Yeah.
Dry cider.
Dry cider. Yeah. That's the way to go.
That's the thing. We always ask for ciders, and then people are like, oh, well, cider's naturally sweet. And I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you should stop selling it.
The great thing about that place, most of their dry ciders, they barely have sweetness to them.
I think that's where we were around New American Distillery.
Yes.
There's a distillery across the street, right? I think, so that's, we had their cider.
Yeah,
maybe a couple weeks back. It was really good.
Yeah, Current also makes a good.
Oh yeah, Current is great.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Kurant. There's a lot of Philly has like so many awesome breweries.
Oh, is Current from Philadelphia as well?
I don't know if they're from Philly, but I think they're from the surrounding area though.
Oh, nice. For those of you listening in, the person that just tuned in is our wonderful tech guy, Ryan. Hey, Ryan, what's up?
What's up? Also a bartender, so I have all the insider knowledge on all the libations happening around Philadelphia. So
yeah. We love tweaking Ryan's brain. So audience members, thank you so much for joining in today. We're really excited to share with you guys for all future or current food entrepreneurs who are looking for some kitchen space. Be sure to check out the CC or Dorrance H. Hamilton Center. Check them out at West Philly Foods, correct?
Yep,
on Instagram. Yep, DM Val or whoever. DM the company. Yeah, exactly.
The account is managed by multiple staff members.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so definitely. And there's a plethora of options, right? There's so many things from funding to getting your business out there to marketing to understanding your demographic. So really great nonprofit organization to work with. Other than that, be sure to check out our website for future happenings. We've got our food truck.
Yep,
up and running.
Just follow us on Instagram for pop-up events. We'll try to be at every festival. And of course, we have meal prep ongoing as far as any catering companies. And, anything weird that comes down to food in a weird location, we're all about it. Yeah.
And we're trying to do those Airbnb experiences as well. So,
I heard about that.
Yeah.
What is that about?
I don't know. I don't get it yet. But I'm down.
We're down, and if you guys, anybody coming into Philly, they want us to host something, we're down for it. Rooftop bars, we've done it before. I'm sorry, rooftops. We've done dinners on the rooftops before. Some cool new experience in Philly. So be sure to check us out. Contact us on everythingweeat.com or info@everythingweeat or on our Instagram, everythingweeatphilly. Other than that, it was wonderful talking with everybody this week, and be sure to check us out next week on Feed the Beast.
Hello everyone, this is Ryan Martin, the production consultant for The Grit Live. If you enjoy our programming, the most important thing you can do to support us is share each episode with your friends and family. You can also leave us a rating and a review on the podcast player of your choice to help others find us. Thank you for listening.